commercial that would take you to my other stuff.
Okay, so we are live now. Does that mean
We're
we're live?
back,
Yay!
and
That's
my
good to
picture
know.
is askew. I don't like that. It's better-ish. Anyways, all right. Well, it's been a bit.
It has been a bit.
The fortnights have not lined up for various
No,
reasons. You were on vacation.
I was on vacation. I know. So funny. We don't call it vacation here.
What do you
We
call
just
it?
say we're on holidays.
Okay, well, you were on holidays.
I love it. Yes, I was away in January, and now it's the end of February. It's insane. And the year is flying by, which, as we were just talking about offline, it's exciting. And yet also,
Not
maybe we need to
exciting.
just slow it down.
Yeah, please hit the brakes. There's too much to do.
There is
It
a little
looks
bit.
like I've got it all together, but it might be that I'm wearing a mask.
What a great segue.
The masks we wear.
Uh,
Yeah, I might be trying to put on a good facade that things are okay, but maybe they're not.
Well, look, I think so. It's funny that you mentioned the holiday thing, because that was the piece that actually instigated my thought about.
Oh, right, because you actually floated this 2-3 weeks ago as an option.
I did, but I also been keeping note of where those masks might still be showing up. So, and I thought, oh, that's actually really interesting. This one's pretty consistent. I think this one just keeps going. Like, there's always going to be masks we're wearing, because I keep seeing it everywhere. So, but I thought I would share what initiated it.
Sure.
Was on the Disney cruise that we were on, we had all the characters. And so what they would do is that they would be on for 15 minutes and then they would have a break. So Mickey would have a break and then Mickey would reappear. And of course, the kids just think it's Mickey.
Of course.
Of course. We're all going, oh, yeah, that's a different person. You can tell by the way they walk.
It's a taller Mickey. The mannerisms are different.
Slightly. And the other key one was one of them that I'm like, you were so that character, because when they reappeared, they'd swapped and they were now leading the character, but the person said something to me, and they would have only known that if they'd just been there 5 minutes earlier, because we'd been there for the changeover.
You got to see behind the curtain of Oz.
I did. And so then I was watching, I was like, wow, isn't that interesting? We can get so caught in what we see in front of us is true, because that's what we're being asked to look at. And so I was like, where do I do that? Oh, everywhere. So there's all these, and there can be justifications for it. Oh, I have to be professional, or there's supposed to be this. I've just been having some conversations with people, and now I have to take on a particular role to have that conversation. And so that's in my PSA thing. So we could say that, oh, well, I'm now wearing the PSA hat, or now I'm wearing the Balance Central hat, or now I'm wearing really? Like, why am I wearing all these different hats? Could I just show up? What if I did that? And so are the masks. So the masks we wear, sometimes they might be necessary.
Okay.
And sometimes they may not. So I thought it was a really good ambiguous one to do.
It certainly is, because I didn't have one particular story that I could share as I was trying to think on this a little bit before we started. And I think what I came to the realization of is I don't wear masks well. Like, I have a shit poker face. So if I'm not on and not feeling well, for whatever reason, I don't think I mask very well that I'm not doing okay.
Yeah, I certainly don't. People will go, "Oh, Chris, you're a bit tired. Oh, are you unwell?" I'm like, "Damn, I thought I was hiding it." No.
No, I don't. I don't. And that I could have a good hand too. I still have a bad poker face. It's not good. But I'm wondering if that's not a bad thing. Is
Well,
kind of where I was headed with that because I know I put on masks often for various reasons. You're doing a job that you don't necessarily like, or you're not feeling great that day at another job that you're doing that's you're supposed to be like the best hour of the day for that person, things like that. Or you need to be strong for your kids. Like whatever, put on a brave face. Like
or for other people's kids.
we're taught all kinds of crazy stuff. So why put on the show? Why can't you just be where you're at that moment in that time in that day?
Yeah, yes, and these were all the questions that I was considering and going, well, the and so a more recent one that was a little bit more in my face was I am looking after my, I'm just going to go nephew. He's actually a great nephew because I'm his great aunt. Anyway,
We don't
he's
need
a
the
nephew.
family tree to make this story work, I'm sure.
Nephew, small child, small one, small nephew. And there are some complications, and I was on my own with him. And by the time I got through the 8 hours of looking after him, it was really obvious that I actually did not have the skill set at my disposal to, I could adequately look after him, but I couldn't enhance the experience for him because I didn't come equipped with all of the right skill sets. And now kid's still breathing. It's fine. It's fine.
It wasn't a life or death situation.
No, not life or death. But it was obvious that in my experience of looking after that age type of child, I have one experience. It's called my own daughter. And so that doesn't actually qualify me to be able to look after every other person's kid, funnily enough. And so, what did I do on that day? I came with all good intentions. I put on, I showed up. I tried to engage. I put on that I've got this. I can handle this situation. This is all good. And it wore me down. It actually exhausted me. It affected my mentality. It affected me emotionally. And I don't know that it was the ideal outcome for the kid. Like I said, still breathing. So, okay. And it's like, what if I didn't put on the mask that I was capable of doing this? And what if, and I get it, hindsight's great. But what if I went, oh, I don't know if I've got all the skill sets for this. I need some assistance. So in actual fact, like I said, hindsight.
It's a wonderful thing.
I didn't know I didn't have the skill set for this kid. So it took me 24 hours after looking after him that I rang my elder sister, who has actually looked after him for weeks on end over Christmas, and went, okay, what am I missing? What do I need to do differently? How do I need to do this? And so in effect, I took my mask off for that conversation so that I could really pay attention to what she'd experienced and her skill set. And she comes as a trained teacher, teaching traumatized kids. So I'm like, yeah, that might be, that's the skill set we need. Now, one conversation does not equal giving me the full skill set. So what do I do from there? So I'm putting some other strategies in place where I'm bringing my husband with me to come and care for said child because I need support. And hopefully between the two of us, we make it a little better of an experience.
For everybody, probably.
For everyone. And so the mask thing is not that I shouldn't have walked in with a mask of, I've got this, because I wanted to show up and I wanted to bring my best. And for that day, I was able to bring my best. And that mask actually helped me, because I was like, okay, but I've still got to be the adult and I got to bring my best still. So I'd put that mask on, and the mask would drop and I'd get a bit annoyed, and then I'd have to put that mask back on and go, okay, no, I've got this. And so there was an advantage in dropping the mask and then also putting the mask back on. And I'm going to have to walk back into that kid's space again this weekend, and I'll put another mask on, because I want to be the adult for him. I want to be the emotional. It's like what I want to represent for him.
Okay.
And I don't know that that's a bad thing, but maybe the awareness of when I take the mask off and when I put it on, or who needs to see that.
Yeah. I think it always comes down to awareness for me anyways, right? Being able to distinguish when you're doing something or not, so then you can decide whether or not it's serving you or not. And that is often tricky. And masks, and this is, I'm not even sure I've ever talked about masks really before, because I want to say we're almost always putting one on for various reasons. So there's so many masks in my mask box, if that makes any sense. Like, whether you're trying to be like the one who's lighthearted in the moment because, you know, people need a little bit of levity, or you're trying to keep that you're not feeling well in front of other people, so you don't bring them down, because, you know, no one wants to see like someone pouting in the corner at a party. Like, it doesn't usually work very well for the party. So like there's places where I think it's supportive. It may not be supportive for you in the moment, but it's you looking out for other
overall.
people. Yeah. But if you know that you're doing it, maybe there's kind of like an acceptance that you can, like, it's a trade-off. You're like, yes, I'm putting on the mask. I know it's BS, but I'm trying to do what's best for.
And in 2 hours time, when I leave that room, I can now be
chuck it.
Something else.
I can go back to being pouty me or whatever the case.
And who are we putting that mask on for? And yes, where is the conscious choice about that we are having that mask on? Because otherwise I find that if we aren't allowing ourselves to go, this is just us kind of pretending.
For sure. It's a show.
It'll be highlighted. It'll be like, it'll slap us in the face, really. It'll come back and bite us, because if we're pretending and we really can't lean into that very well for long, it's going to do what it did to me the other day. It's going to exhaust me. It's going to mentally fatigue me. It's going to emotionally affect me. It's going to hit me in some way.
It's funny. I've seen people with the mask on who you can tell like there's an inauthenticity to it when somebody's like over. Oh yeah, that's really
inspiring story, Ian.
Oh, not every question is a good question. Like, come on, like, that's a great question. I love that question. They can't all be good. Not all of the 5 questions that we asked you in that hour were good. So yeah, like I think there's a fine line to trying to put on your best version of yourself for the moment and overplaying that hand somehow.
Yeah. And do we have some masks that literally default just out of unconscious behavior? I know that I have one that I notice I do, so it's a little bit of unconscious behavior, but it's a very interesting one. I thought I'd reveal it. It's when I know my husband's on his way home.
Okay.
I tend to go, oh, well, now I'll put my phone down, or I'll stop watching the big screen that I'm watching, or I'll step away from my monitor. It's always a screen. It's always a screen involved with me. I might step away from my admin area, still involves a screen, so that I can be ready for when he walks in the door. Now, interestingly, I do this, and sometimes I will get really frustrated because he'll walk in the door and I don't get to say what I want to say. I don't get to do what I want to do because he walks in the door and now it's about him. Now, because this wearing of masks has been in my
Revealed
awareness.
itself to you. It's in your awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday, I played this a little differently. I had a problem with my iPad. And so my intention when he first walked in the door was that I wanted him to look at my iPad. That was priority for me. And so I did something different yesterday. I didn't message him. I rang him. I knew he was on his way home. I knew I had about 15, 20 minutes before he gets home. I rang him and I went, by the way, I didn't even say, hi, honey, how was your day? No. I just rang. I've got a problem with my iPad. When you come in the house, can we pay attention to that when you first come home? There was no frustration. There was no expectations that weren't being met from either side. And we've got my iPad sorted.
Okay.
So I wasn't pretending that I was being the welcoming wife when I secretly had another agenda.
Which is going to frustrate you even more.
And so that example isn't often seen as a mask that we wear because we are showing up for someone else. I'm welcoming him home. But in fact, the mask, what I was doing was masking what my agenda was.
Yeah, going through the motions to get what you want. You deceptive son of a gun.
Oh, it was a reveal. And now, is that damaging in the moment? Probably not. But I think this is a bit like paper cut.
Mm.
If we do subtle things like that every single day, then that's going to start to take its toll. So being better at communicating in that example was the thing that actually really helped me.
Mm-hmm.
Because all expectations were now on the table. I didn't have to, there was no guessing. So he knew exactly what he was walking into when I opened that door for him.
It's like the mask of clear expectations. I guess it wouldn't be a mask. It'd just be clear expectations.
It's just clear expectations. So yeah, I found that really quite refreshing. I got the thing achieved. That was a win. I eventually asked him how his day was, but not until after the iPad.
When you started that story, my brain went to, okay, I'm going to do all the wife things on the 15-minute phone call on the way home so that he can take care of my iPad when he walks in. That's what you're going to do the welcoming wife from a distance. And
no, usually when I'm on a mission on something, I go, right, no, this is my mission. I just need to get that sorted.
Get in, get out, get it done.
Yes. Then I can go, okay, now that's sorted. Now I can focus on asking.
I think I don't think you're alone in that. I think sometimes when there's something that's really important to you, for whatever the reason may be, if that thing is unresolved or not voiced, it's like it's going to sit in the underlying part of you until it's resolved. I'm often having a conversation with Karen about design for a new coaching program or something that we're doing. And throughout our conversations, I'll have things pop up in me that I need to get out. I'll write them down if it's not the right moment, but until those things are resolved, I'm really not paying attention anymore. So I'm like, okay, we have to stop just for a second so I need answers to these two things so that I can like open up my brain again. So yeah, being able to stop, ask for what you need without having to paper over what you think that you're supposed to be doing in the moment, because it's hard to be present really in that moment.
Yeah. And forward thinking to the next 2 weeks, I have a big convention that I'm going to. It goes across 4 days. It is massive. I don't know how much sleep I'll get in those 4 days. And in fact, I'm away for a whole week. That's how big it is. Make sure that I'm just installing, getting there 1 day early so that I can get the lay of the land, feel really super comfortable in that space. And then I have a day at the end as well. So it's really a full week. But I'm going to wear different hats across that convention, because sometimes somebody will come up and they'll have a question that's board related, and then other times somebody will come up and ask a program, because I run one of the programs for PSA, so there'll be a program question, and then other times it'll just be, oh, Chris, what do you actually do? And I'll have to go, oh, let me just take those other things off and I'll just show up and bring what it is I do. There'll be another mask that I went, oh, this one's going to need to be, I need to make sure I'm aware of it because I think it's a mask. I'll be receiving an award for my CSP. That's going to be a thing. I'll get to wear a medal for 2 days. It'll be very fun. And there'll be a lot of other people who are at the convention who want to come and say congratulations, because it's a bit of a milestone in that speaking industry. What mask am I going to choose with that? What am I going to do with all of those people that come up and say thanks? Because often, or not say thanks, but for me to say thank you, when they congratulate me, sometimes I feel like I have to have a strategy for compliments.
Oh, why is that?
For being recognized for something I might have achieved. Oh, insecurity, I come with that. So it's like I could potentially, there's a risk here that I would put a mask on to just go, oh, thanks, but not really be present with what they're saying to me or what they're acknowledging or what they're recognizing. And so I want to make sure, so this is a bit of a note to self as I go through those 4 days, to not put up a barrier.
What would help you do that?
I don't know yet. Awareness will be a good start. And I think I need to check for a red flag of when I'm doing it so that I know to pull it down, because it's an unconscious default. It's a not wanting to be in the spotlight, not wanting to be that center of attention as constantly as it might be. I like being able to be supportive without having to be in the center. But this is, it's going to be in the center. And so looking for when I either shut down or dismiss or, I don't know.
Why is it important that you let that in?
Are you asking a good question, Ian?
Sometimes I think of them.
That's a good question. No, I just couldn't help myself.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I wasn't even following your thread. You're being funny, and I didn't realize you were being funny. I thought you were serious. That's a good question, Ian. No, that was a good question, Mask.
It's important for me because I feel like it's worth acknowledging the work that I've put in the last 16 years to get to this point. And I'm too far along in life to dismiss these things.
So it has more to do with the acknowledgement of yourself than other people acknowledging it?
Yeah, I don't need other people acknowledging it. But it's that if I can let that in, that will what I'm allowing out is that, yes, I hear you. Yes, that is something I have achieved. And saying it with genuineness rather than, oh, thanks. Which again is the mask.
Does it have to be in the moment though?
This is why we have these conversations, Anne. Right?
Well, the reason I'm asking is you may not be able to, like, with any skill, you need repetitions, you need practice getting them right. So maybe the first one you don't even hear. Maybe the second one you hear it and you say, "Cool, thanks. Have a great day." But at some point, maybe you get one where you're like, "Okay, I think I'm ready to like let
Actually,
it
I
in."
can absorb this. Yeah.
Or even recognize the first two that happened that you bypassed or sidestepped or whatever. So
Yeah. And do we put that mask, and am I putting that mask on because somewhere in me, fears getting the acknowledgement? Because what does that mean? People then see me? Oh, bugger. How did that happen?
you do realize you're the person with the blue hair, right? Like people are going to see you.
I know. And I'm a professional speaker and I'm getting up on stage and, oh, yeah, all the things.
Ah.
Exactly. So we put ourselves in these positions and then we think, yeah, I think it's really good to be aware of what we're also bringing as a default, even when we put ourselves in these positions. And it's one I own, absolutely, that I'm needing to make sure in the next 2 weeks that I keep an eye on.
So what do you need going in to prepare you for this for you?
I think I'd take the lesson from my example of my iPad and my lovely husband yesterday is change the expectation that I maybe have on myself.
What does that look like?
That it'll be okay if I just go, thanks, and not quite absorb it on the first 10.
Boink. That's the sound of it bouncing off.
That one away. Yeah, so that, maybe because we get the award on the Saturday and I've still got all day Sunday and all day Monday. So I've got 3 days potentially of people very kindly maybe coming up and congratulating me. It's a thing that happens. It's there's going to be 400 people there. It's going to happen more than once. It's going to happen. And it'll come from the people that know what this award means too. So it's meaningful when they come up and say that. It's not a surface congratulations. They know what it's taken and they know what it means. And so maybe day 1 I might be a little bit thanks. Day 2 I might actually be settled enough to hear it properly. And so to just change what the expectation is of how quickly I can do that.
That's exactly what was popping up to mind for me right now was, yeah, even being a little more easy on yourself with, okay, I might miss a few. I might drop a few balls. That's okay. I'm going to catch one of these.
Yeah.
Is there anything from your past experience that you can draw on that would support you?
I can't think of anything at the minute.
You haven't received compliments in the past?
I have practiced receiving compliments.
How does that go?
It's more automatic than it used to be.
Okay. I hear a giant butt.
I'm going to say, yeah, there's more. I don't want to say butt. I want to say
that's a fancy butt is all that is. Put some lace on that.
Yeah. So it's in that same category. So yeah, I think my thing will be awareness. Just know that I potentially will bring that mask in with me and find the right times to keep taking it off, even if it goes back on before I realize.
I don't even think there's any possible way not to slip back into it if it's a habitual habit. It's just like an old pair of slippers. It feels natural.
Comfy. Yeah.
Right? Get out of the bed, you put your feet in slippers, you walk around the house. You don't even know
you don't even know you're wearing them
until you touch the light socket. So, however,
personal experience there.
No, it's never happened. I hate slippers. But but that awareness and being okay with realizing that, okay, I did slip back into an old habit, but it doesn't mean that you're not willing to accept and to try on a different way of being.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I think that's part of the awareness for wearing a mask. When is it appropriate? Like you said, when does it serve you? When does it no longer serve you? Sometimes it can be appropriate. And sometimes we can just remove them because it's okay.
yeah, and I think what I'd be encouraging is encouraging my kids to do is to let them down more often. So to let people in, because I think masks in general, I'm going to say in general, will close out or kind of keep you at arm's distance from people because they're not really seeing the you. They're seeing a version of you that you think they need to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Totally agree.
That's all I got.
Well, that's pretty good.
You did great. You did great. You did really, really good. And what I'd like you to know is that
You're so funny.
You're good at this.
Oh, why, thank you, Ian.
And I actually mean it, even though I'm doing it in a joking
I
fashion.
genuinely accept
It's legit. It's legit. You're good at what you do. So keep doing it.
Yeah, thank you. I that is the plan. I'll keep soldiering on.
That sounds like the mask went back on. All right, awesome. All right, so any last words of wisdom before we end this?
No. I think I've said enough for today. We might even have to revisit this one to see how the wearing of the mask is going.
I'm really curious when this is over. I want to hear how this turns out.
Okay.
Because I'm sure there's another topic underneath that will be amazing.
Excellent. Well, we might have to do that one in a few weeks' time.
All right. Take care.
All right, everyone.
We'll see you next time.
See you then.
Bye.